electrostatic force of attraction. Ions are held by strong electrostatic force of attraction. And positively charged ions are called cations, and negatively charged ions are anions. We have already seen it, heard it. Yes, positive ions, cations, negative ions are anions. Isn't it? We haven't heard. Have we heard about this? Why cations are called positive charge are called cations?
Because
It loses an electron. Cathode seeking ion is cation, anode seeking ion is anion during electrolysis. That is why the term cation and anion. Cation, cathode seek, you put cation and within bracket cathode seeking ion during electrolysis. Anode seeking ion is anion during electrolysis. Therefore, that explains the property 2 conducts electricity. Conducts electricity. But depending on the condition, when should it conduct electricity? In the molten state. Either in the molten state or in aqueous solution. Question number 2 for the day. Ionic compounds do not conduct electricity in the solid state. Is it true? It's false. It's false. Even in solid state, we have got Na plus ion and Cl minus ion. Ionic compounds, even in the solid state, they contain ions. They do not conduct electricity because they are not free to move about. They are not mobile. They are not free ions. Free ions. You get the free ions only in the molten state. I shall explain why they don't conduct electricity in the solid state. Why they don't conduct electricity in the solid state? Let me draw the lattice of sodium chloride. Intermolecular force of attraction, interionic force of attraction, or intermolecular force of attraction in the solid state is called the lattice. And we mentioned one more thing also. Higher the lattice energy, lesser the solubility. Lesser the solubility. Yes. Any compound. Lattice can be there for any solid. I cannot use lattice. Lattice of water, liquid. No. Lattice is the term used for the solid state. Okay. Let me draw the lattice of sodium chloride. Let me draw a cube. Please draw the cube immediately. Don't wait for me to complete the explanation and then write it. And let me put Na plus ion in the center of the cube. Center of the cube. Okay. These are called corners, lattice corners. This is the center of the face. Face center. Face center. Corner of the cube. Center of the cube. Supposing I find one atom here, edge, middle of the edge. These are the edges. There are 12 edges. 6 faces. 8 corners. Edhikaliye. You know this. Write it. 8 corners, 12 edges, 6 faces. And you have a face center. I will call this, okay, face center. Let me put a chloride in a face center here on the right. The left hand side face, Cl, and the top center. And you have in the front, this is the face center at the back. If you want to see just one ion, let's see how this is going to be distributed here. This is going to be a Cl minus and a Cl minus, Cl minus, Cl minus, and Cl minus and Cl minus. X-axis, y-axis, z-axis. Draw it. And they are supposed to be the neighbors. One Na plus ion is surrounded by 6 chloride ions. The number of neighbors is also known as coordination number. The coordination number of sodium chloride is said to be 6 here. This is the simplest portion of entire crystal. The simplest portion of entire crystal. That simplest portion, simplest cube extended, let me put one more, extend it along the x-axis, grow it along the y-axis, grow it along the z-axis. You get the big crystal of sodium chloride. And the smallest portion of a crystal, wherein I get all the information, is also applicable for the entire crystal. If you want to know the density of the entire crystal, if I know the density of the smallest portion of the crystal, I know the entire. That smallest portion of the crystal, which gives you all the information about the entire crystal, is known as an unit cell. I am introducing all new points today. Unit cell. Unit cell is the smallest portion of the crystal. Portion of the crystal. Unit cell is the smallest portion of the crystal. Now, don't you think I can, when I extend the crystal along the x-axis, this can become the center of the cube. One more crystal, one more cube, center of the cube. On the left hand side we have Na plus, right hand side you can have one more Na plus, the top Na plus, bottom Na plus, front Na plus and back. Therefore, Cl minus ion, each Cl minus ion is also surrounded by 6 sodium ion. So the coordination number of chloride is also 6, the coordination number of Na plus is also 6. And that is going to be the entire crystal when you develop it. In this unit cell, the sodium ion is present in the center of the cube. The next unit cell, Cl minus ion, will be the center of the unit crystal. You try to draw one more and put Cl minus, Na plus, Na plus, Na plus, Na plus, front and the back. And that is going to be crystal. Now, I want to, what do? I want to conduct electricity. Put sodium chloride. Put the electrodes over there. Allow that to pass some reaction. Does not happen. Why? Because they are held together by strong electrostatic force of attraction. Each sodium ion is arrested by 6 Cl minus ion. And Na plus ion, being a cathode, should migrate towards a cathode. And it has to break the attraction in the one in the front, second here, third here, fourth here, fifth here, and sixth here. Should it not break all the force of attraction on all the 6 phases, 6 sides, then go migrate here, and that is not possible. That is why ionic compounds, they contain ions even in the solid state, But these ions are not free to move about. They are not mobile ions. They are not free ions. Only free ions when it is subjected to potential difference, electricity, then it moves. Now, how do you make it to move? You melt it. And what is happening when you are melting it here? You are taking it in a solid here. You heat it. When you heat it, after some time, what happens? You get the liquid here. You get the liquid. And there is no crystal. There is no lattice. Crystal is completely broken. It is the molten state. Will the molten state also contain Na plus ion and Cl minus ion? Yes. But not tied to a particular lattice point. I told you these points are called the lattice points. Corner of a crystal. What are the different lattice points in a crystal? I am doing information that you need for the 12th standard. Most of the informations you require in the 12th standard, and we are not restricting ourselves only to the 11th alone. Okay? It is going to be the consolidation of the entire chemistry. Therefore, this is going to be lattice point, the center of the phase. It's called phase center. And that is why sodium chloride is an example of phase centered crystal. You are going to see it later on. Different types of crystals. One is going to be face-centered crystal, abbreviated as FCC. Abbreviated as FCC, face-centered crystal. Now, there is no lattice here. Of course, even here there is electrostatic force of attraction, but it is not that rigid here. They are mobile. So what happened? I try to dip an electrode here, and this is going to be positive, this is going to be negative here, connected to the external source of potential difference here. And Na plus ion migrates here, Cl minus ion migrates here. And that is called electrolysis. Sodium chloride is decomposed. And obviously, now tell me, point number 3, question number 3 for the day. Between molten solid state, and the gaseous state. Very easy question. I want everyone to get a mark. The ease of electrolysis increases in the order dash. The ease of electrolysis. Solid greater than liquid, greater than gas, or gas, gaseous state, or whatever be the answer. You write the answer. Ease of electrolysis from solid, you are given 3 physical states: solid sodium chloride, liquid sodium chloride, and gaseous sodium chloride. And ease of electrolysis, less than. You have written the other way about. Less than. You wrote it? You have finished? Shall we see? All of you have finished the answer? Yes. No more writing. Yes. Solid less than liquid less than gas. Is that so? Why? Solid less than gas less than. Why? He has got a different answer. Yes. Why? Why is it so? Either it should be solid, liquid, and vapor, liquid, and solid. Why is it so? Why there is a discrepancy? What made you to think? You want to give a different answer. You said something like solid, vapor, and gas. Do you agree that ease of electrolysis? What answer did you write?
Solid, liquid.
Why is it so? Why is it so? Why is it so? It's very difficult to electrolyte a solid than liquid, than gas, vapor. That's the meaning. Why is it so? Neighbor, behind him.
Because the ions are very rigid, tightly packed in solid state.
Not packed. Of course, they are already packed here. They are tightly held by a strong electrostatic force, very high lattice energy. Because of high lattice energy, solids are not able to conduct electricity. In the case of molten state, they are able to. In the case of the gaseous state, still more readily. Why? Why? Because electrostatic force of attraction becomes weaker and weaker and weaker. Therefore, they are able to go to the oppositely charged ion. Okay. And therefore, ionic compounds, now what is the point here? Ionic compounds do conduct electricity in the molten state or in aqueous solution. Let's see. Molecules can be classified into polar molecule and non-polar molecule. No repetition. At the end of it, I am going to ask you some 8 questions continuously on this point alone. And let me take an example of diatomic molecule. Diatomic molecule. Diatomic molecule can be polar if it is heteronuclear diatomic molecule. The diatomic molecule can be non-polar if it is going to be homonuclear diatomic molecule. I suppose these things are self-explanatory or require some explanation. Example, HCl, AB. Here homonuclear, HH, H2, Cl2, F2, Br2, I2, N2, O2. These are all homonuclear diatomic molecules. same atom, same nuclei. Therefore, this is going to be AA, which is going to be more electronegative. The electronegativity difference is 0. The electronegativity difference is not equal to 0. One is going to be more electronegative. That is why we try to put delta minus and delta plus. Electronegativity we have already taken care of. Therefore, the shared pair of electron here towards B. Shared pair of electron is towards B. Therefore, delta plus and there is a polarity created. And whenever the electron distribution, the electronegativity difference is not equal to, in this case, electronegativity difference is not equal to 0. In this case, electronegativity difference is equal to 0 because in the center. And such a bond is called a non-polar bond. And this bond is called a polar bond. Now, what is a polar bond? When there is a charge separation. When does the charge separation take place? When the electronegativity difference is not equal to 0, unequal. So, one atom gets delta minus, the other atom gets delta plus. Okay? So, that is a polar bond and non-polar bond. Now, if the molecule happens to be a solvent, then accordingly the solvents can also be classified into a polar solvent and a non-polar solvent. And the polarity of a molecule, is also explained. Information can be obtained from the magnetic moment. Magnetic moment, which is more or less related to dipole moment. I shall explain all these things. But I want to just say the magnetic moment or dipole moment can be 0 or it is not equal to 0. 0 or not equal to 0. Not equal to 0. 0 or not equal to 0. When the dipole moment is equal to 0, it is considered to be a non-polar molecule. When the dipole moment is not equal to 0, they are considered to be a polar molecule. That is all. And if the molecule happens to be a solvent, a polar solvent and non-polar solvent. Ultimately, it should have some unit dipole moment, unit magnetic polarity. Now, I take two solvents here. One is going to be carbon tetrachloride. Mu dipole moment is expressed in terms of the magnetic moment is expressed in terms of mu. Number of unpaired electrons. How do you calculate square root of n into n plus 2? I told you. Didn't I tell you? Mu is equal to, one can calculate based on the number of unpaired electrons, which is paramagnetic. Didn't I say about the paramagnetic and diamagnetic? Yes, paramagnetic compounds are compounds which exhibit one or more unpaired electrons. Diamagnetic, not disturbed with magnetic field. Which compounds are not disturbed with magnetic field? Those compounds which do not contain lone pair, unpaired, single electron. Now, which does not contain unpaired electron. And that value can be obtained by the value n into n plus 2. N into n plus 2. If the number of unpaired electron is 0, I shall give you one simple example between nitrogen and N3 minus. I will frame a question. Both of them have got the magnetic moment 0. Both of them do not contain magnetic moment 0. And this is equal to 0, this is not equal to 0. This is equal to 0, this is not equal to 0. That is how the questions are framed, based on every statement. Which of my statement right? Which of them is expected to have some magnetic moment? Or both of them are 0? Or in other words, which is going to be polar and non-polar? They are also related to that. Okay. Now tell me, how many unpaired electrons? Nitrogen. What is the electronic configuration of nitrogen? Atomic number of nitrogen? 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. How many unpaired electrons? 3 unpaired electrons. How many electrons are there in nitride ion? Isn't it nitride ion? Isn't it nitride ion? How is nitrogen converted to nitride ion? Acceptance of 3 electrons. Don't you add 3 electrons here? If this is going to be 2s2 and 2p3 with a helium core, what should be the configuration here? Helium core, 2s2. How many unpaired electrons? 0. Therefore, the magnetic moment of that particular compound should be 0. 0. There is no unpaired electron. I can in fact ask you so many questions on that single answer. How many unpaired electrons are there in 10 moles of nitride ion? 1 mole is equal to Avogadro number. What is the Avogadro number? 6.02 in 10 power 23. I am asking you the total number of unpaired electrons in 10 moles of nitride ion. 0 only. What does it matter whether it is 1 mole or 10 mole here? 1 ion has 0 and so many ions. Let it be any number of ions. Okay, so that is going to be the non-polar. Now, let me come back here. Water is considered to be a polar solvent and carbon tetrachloride a non-polar solvent. It's a non-polar solvent. It's a non-polar solvent. Water is a polar solvent. Water is a polar solvent. Now, water being a polar solvent, like let us assume that this is going to be AB. Of course, this is a triatomic molecule. You have delta plus and delta minus. There is going to be net resultant distribution of electron on one side. Because water is polar, we are going to see it later on, water is going to be a non-linear molecule. You take carbon disulfide, let me take a simpler example, carbon disulfide. Carbon disulfide is also a triatomic molecule. Water is also a triatomic molecule. Water is a heteronuclear triatomic molecule, isn't it? Different atoms. Carbon disulfide is also a heteronuclear triatomic molecule, but this is considered to be a polar molecule, and that is considered to be, now the explanation is going to be carbon disulfide happens to be a linear molecule. Because I have determined the dipole moment of this. I have method to experiment. I have method to determine the dipole moment. The dipole moment is equal to 0 for this. Dipole moment is not equal to 0. Dipole moment is not equal to 0. Dipole moment is 0. I shall explain why the dipole moment is 0. Now here, between carbon and sulfur, let me not repeat my statement. Which is more electronegative? Sulfur is more electronegative, non-metal, group 16. So the flow of electron in this direction, and flow of electron is going to be in the same direction here. Same sulfur and sulfur, like a tug of war. Both the teams are equally strong. Where does the red knot go? Red knot does not move at all. Let me take carbon here, connected to oxygen, connected to sulfur. It is also a linear molecule. But definitely this molecule will have a dipole moment. It's a tug of war team, and this team is stronger, more electronegative. When compared to that, though it is going to be group 16 and group 16, which is more electronegative, oxygen. So it is going to pull the knot in this direction. And this particular team wins. So net resultant flow of electron is that towards the oxygen atom. So how do you express it? Then vector quantity is going to be towards oxygen. Why towards oxygen? Because oxygen is going to be more electronegative. So that is where will you put delta minus here? Delta minus, definitely you are going to put more delta minus on the oxygen atom. Both of them linear. But this is considered to be a polar molecule. This is considered to be a non-polar molecule. Why? The net resultant distribution of electron is going to be compensated, one cancelling each other. Okay, now we shall take up water. Water can be given two structures, one linear structure and non-linear structure. Linear structure and non-linear structure. Non-linear structure. I told you we are going to we are going to include the shape of the molecule also. Let me give the introduction to the shape itself, taking the simplest example. We are going to propose this structure only for water and not the structure here. What is evidence? Dipole moment. Dipole moment is not 0. Had it been dipole moment 0, this should have been the structure, like your carbon disulfide, carbon dioxide. Why? Now, you have a table. You have a table. I ask two fellows to come and see. One fellow is going to pull the table in this direction. The other fellow is going to pull the direction in the table along the line. He has to go along the line. Both the fellows are equally strong. Given the vessel, the table does not move, like a tug of war. Okay? Or I ask the fellow to push the table. Either way, whatever it is. That fellow also is going to push the table here. Table does not move. At the same time, I ask the two fellows to stand equally strong. I ask this fellow 45 degrees. He is supposed to push the table in this direction. And this fellow is supposed to push the table in this direction. Table moves, vector quantity. Net resultant displacement of the table, is it there or not? And that is what is happening. Had you been given this particular structure, what should be the force of attraction? Towards oxygen atom. What should be the force of attraction? Towards oxygen atom. One compensating the other, a fellow pushing the table along the line. The table does not move. There is no net resultant displacement of electron. Did you write down that? No resultant displacement of electron. And that causes for the dipole moment. When does the dipole moment happen here? When there is a net resultant displacement of electronic load.